It is now my pleasure to welcome our guest of honor, Ms. Maithili Ramesh. She completed her BE Computer Science from College of Engineering, Guindy, and MBA from IIM Ahmedabad. In her 20-year successful stint in Wipro, she grew from a customer support executive to a senior vice president. Her career spans product management, marketing, business head, and quality. As a certified black belt, she drove the Six Sigma initiation in Wipro. With a passion for entrepreneurship, she headed a startup in Wipro called 01 Markets and built a successful business called e-procurement. In her last stint in Wipro in BPO, she was responsible for pre-sales and solutioning, product management, transition, innovation, and part of operations in Wipro BPO. In 2006 and 2007, she was adjudged one of the 25 most powerful women in India by India Today and DataQuest. In June 2009, she and a few ex-Wipro colleagues started a social entrepreneurship from Next Wealth, focusing on IT BPO services from small towns in a unique distributed delivery model. Their mission is to create 10,000 jobs in the small towns. She is currently the co-founder and CEO of Next Wealth. It is an honor to have you, ma'am, with us on this auspicious day. I invite Ms. Maithili Ramesh to address the gathering.
Good evening to all of you. It's my privilege and honor to be here among such eminent speakers as well as such an august audience. Apart from the nuggets of information that Professor Sadagopan was sharing with us, one more nugget of information, sir, is, I don't know how many of you are here from the first batch? 15 of them. So I don't know whether they will remember, but in ITPL, for the first batch, I took a session on e-procurement and reverse auctions. So I don't know how many of you will remember that. But so it's very nostalgic for me to be here again 15 years later talking to all of you. So when Professor Sadagopan said that we should talk for about 10 to 12 minutes, I was wondering what I should be sharing with all of you. So after I quit Wipro, that was about, after I completed 20 years and 1 day, that's when I decided that, I wanted to do something which is a little bit different, but had a social impact. So that's how Next Wealth started, which is basically we do IT and BPO services from small towns. So when I left Wipro, one of the things that I did was I wanted to leave behind something which was lasting for my team as well as my bosses. So I wrote down, which is what I call as the guiding principles of life. And I gave it to them saying this is the 10 commandments that I follow. So the next 10 minutes, I'm going to cover those 10 commandments. The first one, I'm sure each one of you, this is not necessarily advice that I'm giving, but each one of you can make your own 10 guiding principles that you can follow as your yardstick. First one is that the mind should be like a sponge. Today, the situation and the environment that we work in is very exciting. Distance is zero, time is zero, and speed is infinity. So any sitting anywhere in the country, in the world, you can now learn what you want to learn through online universities, through online education. So many things are possible today. I just wanted to share one story of one of our employees in our center in Mallasamudram, Salem. So we run a center there. And when I was asking him about, you've joined this Next Wealth Center, what is it that you would have been doing? And these are all first generation graduates. Parents are weavers, farmers, policemen, tailors, and so on. So I asked him, you're working here, and he was, very happy to be working here. And one of the things he said is that, I asked him, if you were not doing this, what would you be doing? So he said, if I was not doing this, I would be making towels every week and every day. And that's what his father was into. He is a BSc graduate. And so I said, okay, so you'd be making towels. And how much would you get paid? So he said he gets paid about 50 rupees a towel. And he makes about 10 towels a week. And that was what he would have gotten to. Otherwise, of course, option is always to come to the city to work. But that's what he would have been doing if this opportunity had not been there for him locally. So today, because of internet and other, other conveniences that we have, time is actually zero and distance is zero. So I would say that make complete use of this opportunity to learn as much as you can, and there is no age for learning. Second is, and this might sound like a generic statement, but it is something that I truly believe in, follow your dreams and think big. Today, in those days, we didn't actually have a choice. All of us had to, study and then start working and support our parents. And I remember my first salary in Wipro, which I took out, was 1,500 rupees, of which I spent 700 and 800 rupees I sent home. And that's how it was for the first few years. So we didn't have a choice, but today you have a choice in terms of, the environment, in terms of the VCs, the internet availability, mobile apps. It's a very exciting, and it's a cauldron that is there which you need to really make use of. Just an example here of one of the clients that we work with today is, I don't know how, you might have read about him in the papers, is a person called Ashwin Ramesh. So when this client came to us, and I went to meet him to pitch for business, and you'll be surprised. This person, he was younger than my son, 18 years old, started a business at the age of 17, for the youngest CEO in the country, made it a successful business, sold it off, and he was on to his second venture, and he was younger than my son. Right? So there is no age for following your dreams. That doesn't mean that you just throw up your education and start something. He was studying side by side as well as following his dreams of doing this startup. And his partner was a person called Mohan Balakrishnan, who was 53 years old. So as I said, there is no age for a startup. Third is, when you follow your dreams, measure yourself against yourself, not against others. But set high standards for yourself. So it is important to set high standards for yourself and not continuously keep comparing with the others. And you'll find actually that when you set high standards for yourself, you are able to achieve more than when you are competing with others. And I'm sure all of you are very familiar with the story of the frogs in the well. They were trying to climb out of the well. You're aware of that, right? So they were all trying to climb out of the well, and most of the frogs fell back. There was one frog which actually made it to the top. And why did he make it to the top? Because he was deaf, and he couldn't hear the others saying that you can't make it to the top, right? And I'm sure you've seen that Dark Knight movie, right, where he's trying to get out of the deep pit, and the only other person who's got out of the deep pit is a young boy, right? And he manages to, and everybody else is telling him you cannot get out of this pit, but he manages to get out of the pit in spite of a broken back. So measure yourself against yourself. Fourth is, no substitute for hard work, and I keep telling my sons this. Intelligence without hard work will not get you far. One example is that, some people might have to do things 3 times or 4 times to get it right, but, if they can do it in 3-4 times, you can do it in 10 times, 20 times, and get it right. It cannot, there's not a possibility that you will not get it. So when I was learning music from Lalgudi Rajalakshmi, Lalgudi Jayaraman's sister. So she was a very, very tough taskmaster, and I used to be really scared to go to those classes. And she was a perfectionist. So there were certain phrases which I would not get. So, I used to give up. After 5-6 times of trying, I would give up. Then she would make me practice it 100 times, and she would count whether I'm practicing it 100 times or not. And believe me, at the end of the 50th or the 60th time, I would get it. So if you can't get it 2-3 times, I'm sure you can get it, the 100th time. Fifth point is, keep your mind and body active. Continuously learning, doing different things, and doing things differently. And there are so many things that you can learn today. In the entire my career in Wipro of 20 years, every 2 years I've changed a job. When I say changed a job, I've changed a role within the organization. So sometimes it was Six Sigma, sometimes it was innovation. But what I believe is, you learn in the first year, you contribute in the second year, third year probably you start stagnating. So learn to do different things and do it differently. Sixth point is, look at problems as opportunities. They can only, better your capabilities. And I used to give this example to my team that, whenever there were issues with customers, that problem is not a problem. It's an opportunity for you to overcome and learn how to overcome that problem. So I'm sure all of you are familiar with Thomas Edison. when he actually discovered electricity and light, when he discovered light, he did it the 800th time. So when somebody told him that, it has taken you 800 times before you actually were able to discover this, he said no. So, they were basically telling him that you failed so many times, 799 times, and 800th time you were successful. And he said, no, I learned 799 ways in which it will not work. Right? And I keep telling my sons also the same thing, that every problem is an opportunity for you to learn. Seventh is, have the courage of your conviction. And when I say this, there are a lot of people who will tell you that, what you're doing is right or wrong, but listen to everybody. It is not that, you should not be listening. You should listen to everybody, but do what you think is right. Be firm in whatever your goals are, and don't lose sight of that goal. Eighth point is, and one of our speakers also mentioned this, physical and mental health and having the right balance of both is very, very important today. And I always take the example of, with my team, I used to take the example of the rubber balls and the glass balls. So the glass balls are the family and health. So first is health, which is a glass ball. If you drop it, it is really going to affect you throughout your life. It's going to break. Second glass ball is your family. So you need to really make time for your family, whether it is your children, your husband, or your parents. The career is a rubber ball because it will always bounce back. So it does not mean that you don't have commitment to what you're doing in terms of your career. You have that commitment, but it's a rubber ball. It's a 40-year journey in your career. So you slip 1 or 2 years, it doesn't matter. You're going to pick up after that. Ninth is, I don't know how many of you have goals in your personal life, and I'm sure you all have career goals. How many of you have goals in your personal life? Can you share what is your goal? That person who put up your hand? Yeah.
I want to buy a new house for my family, for my parents, by end of 2017.
Okay, very nice, very nice. So it's very important to have those personal goals in life. And so for example, as a family, we all set personal goals for the year, and we, just like an organization, we review it every quarter and to see whether we have achieved it or not. But it's important, I think, to have those personal goals. Mine for this year is to run a half marathon, to learn Sanskrit, and to do some Isha Yoga programs that I have set aside for myself. Last is, I would say, count your blessings. Many of us are so privileged to be here in a place like this and having the opportunity to learn. And I don't think we realize unless, you really go to some of the not so privileged sections and find out what they are actually going through. So count your blessings. Even if you have any problem, you have so many other things that are positive. Whatever you do, go through life with compassion and with respect for others. With that, my 10 commandments are over. I wish you all the best for your career as well as for your future.
Thank you, ma'am.